All right, it's time to talk internship. What is it? How do you apply for it? How does it work? What's the whole thing? Let's just go through everything so that medical students, if you're watching, you have a better idea about what internship looks like and how to apply for it. So let's go through the overview of the internship application for medical students in Australia. Just as an outset, I am a Victorian medical student. Well, I was a Victorian medical student. I essentially graduated from a Victorian medical school and then did my internship in Victoria. This information is not specific to Victoria. There are some similarities for all the other states, and the application process after I did some digging essentially works like the same way for most other states. Let's go through it. I guess to start off with, what is internship? It is essentially your first year working as a doctor, as a proper, fully fledged doctor. I mean, first of all, congratulations if you are watching this and you're about to become a doctor for the first time. That is like exciting stuff. I mean, to be honest, when I first finished med school and started work, or like when I was about to start work, I was like, oh, this is actually what I signed up for. So you don't have to study, you just go straight into the workforce, throw yourself in the deep end, and that's really, really exciting. You will get paid for the first time, which is like, I mean, unreal. Up until this point of, studying and everything, I was just like doing casual jobs, part-time jobs, tutoring, coaching. I ended up working at the cinemas for a bit. I mean, this is actually nice. You get to go to work, get paid, come home, and you get a salary. Yeah, you get your paycheck every fortnight, which is kind of nice. I don't know if anyone else had that experience as well, but that was what it was like for me. So anyways, internship is your first year as a doctor. You apply for internship in I think it's about halfway through medical school in your final year, and it's about June or so. Each state will depend differently. Each state for their internship will have specific dates and timelines and deadlines. All you need to do is just go internship New South Wales or internship Tasmania, and you can just get the timeline for the specific dates and thresholds that you need to do everything for. That's boring, so I don't want to go through that, but all you need to do is just Google it. Here's an example of something for Victoria internship. This is just some random PDF that I found on the Victorian Council website. It's called PMCV. Essentially, each state will have its own thing. Follow the timeline, just be aware of a general framework of the dates and when your deadlines are, because the last thing you want to be doing is chasing things at the last minute, even though that's what I do most of the time. To be honest, there's a few different parts to the internship process. There is the cover letter, there's the referees section, so essentially a reference. You might have a clinical and a non-clinical reference. A clinical reference is someone who essentially you've worked with in a capacity as a medical student and they are a doctor. So you might get a consultant to be your reference. You might be getting a reference from a senior registrar or a senior colleague. It depends on their actual seniority as well. So essentially, I saw it written down for one part, but each internship application process will have specific things. It might be that they have to be PGY4 and above to be listed as a clinical reference. PGY4 just means postgrad year 4. That means they're in their 4th year working as a doctor or above. So yeah, and a non-clinical referee would be someone who is essentially, you've worked with outside the hospital. Maybe you've worked at the cinemas like I did, and I ended up getting one of my managers from the cinemas who I actually knew pretty well and I got on with, he liked me, and I thought, this is great. This is a great referee to have put down, and obviously you got to ask them and everything, but I think we're getting sidetracked. Let's just go through the basic outline. Cover letter. You've got a written application. The hospital to which you're applying for internship might have specific questions that they need to ask that you need to answer in order to, consider you for their application. Certain hospitals might have a few questions listed on their application process, which you have to answer in order to, successfully go ahead with that internship application. You will also have to construct a resume. The resume is like your CV, your curriculum vitae, essentially stuff you've done in your life that you're proud of. I guess, or that makes you look good. Maybe you volunteered for every hour of every afternoon for every week since high school and you're like a saint. Put that on your CV, that's awesome. Or maybe you like to, make model planes. That could be kind of cool. Or maybe you're the leader of some scouts organization, or the knitting club in your local area. I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like essentially just CV is like stuff you've done, studied, maybe some research, all that other stuff. Cover letter, CV, written application questions. You have to do the interview and then you got to get your references. And you got to make sure you do those things before the deadlines are reached, and then you can just go ahead and apply for internship. I guess we'll go into each one of those details in a little bit, but have a think, like I get this question a lot, like where should I do internship? Does it matter? Like how much weight should I put on this internship application, and will it dictate my career and everything like that? I mean, to be honest, not really. Different people will have different answers to this question. It doesn't matter where I do internship, how long should I think about it, what should I do? I mean, all I thought when I was choosing where I want to go for internship is somewhere that I was familiar with and comfortable, and essentially somewhere where I like to live as well. Like if I'm living over in Westside Victoria and I choose a hospital on the east side of Victoria that's an hour's drive away, then I have to commute an hour to work each day, plus or minus traffic, you know? And that's like 2 hours out of my day. Do I want to be doing that? And if I don't, do I want to uproot my life and move over that side of town? You know, do I want to move to the country? Where are my friends at? Where's my family at? What sort of extracurricular stuff do I want to do, and is that available in that area? I would preference location and like lifestyle in terms of your internship area, like what hospital you want to apply for. And I think, you know, I guess if you have a certain friendship group and they're all going to the one hospital, sure, that could be fun. Or if they're going rural and you want to like go work out in the country for a bit with a couple of mates from med school, do that. But think about your everyday life, you know, how you're going to commute to work, where you're going to live, what's your lifestyle going to be like outside work. If you're just going to a place because you get to do 2.5 months of a certain rotation, is that strong enough? I guess it's up to you. It depends what you're willing to put up with or what you're willing to sacrifice. But have a think about that. The main things that I decided on were location, lifestyle, and essentially my everyday like workflow. And essentially I wanted a place that I was comfortable with. I wanted to focus on the actual work as a doctor, not trying to learn a new system, not trying to like learn where I had to park, or, you know, how the electronic medical record system worked, or, you know, whatever. You know, I just wanted to have those systems down pat so I could really focus on getting good at life as a doctor. So that's why I interned at the same place that I was placed at medical school. And I know everyone doesn't have that luxury. Some people are like interstate placements and they're not affiliated with one particular hospital. I know Notre Dame is one of those places that do that sort of thing. But yeah, lot to think about, but I think keep it simple. That's the best way I would answer that question of where should I internship, or where should I think about interning. This is what the website looks like. You've got the internship match. So the applications open in May, they close in June. Then you've got interviews, you've got some offers coming out in July. So essentially, like, yeah, it might be pretty similar for other states. There's this VRPA results published. I'm pretty sure that's just like the rural thing, yeah. Rural Generalist Program. Maybe it's the scholarship, I'm not sure. Victorian Rural Preferential Allocation, yeah. I wish to preference a mixture of rural and metro. Should I enter? Yeah, okay, fine. Fine. So yeah, if you go on this website, if you're from Victoria, this will help you out. You just go across to all matches, then you go to the internship match. You scroll down, you get a key list of all the dates that you have for your internship. The internship application process here, you can join for free to the AMA Victoria, which is the Australian Medical Association. Now that can go through a few different things. You've got a little introduction to the match, little YouTube video. I guess, I don't know if you need more stuff like that. Resumes, applications, and preparing for interviews. That's what you're here for, so you don't need to do that. But sure, if you want to watch a recording, it will just go through some basic stuff. Okay, so apparently St. Vincent's Hospital have a little recording about how internship works at their hospital. If you go into specific hospitals, they might have information on how the internship application works for that particular hospital. I don't think that's a bad idea. I mean, if you're really wanting to work in a particular health setting and you want to find out more about the specific nature of the internship, how it works, what rotations are available, can you go rural or do you have to stay in that particular hospital? What types of like stuff can you do? Like if you're wanting to do, say like, I don't know, vascular surgery, then maybe you want to go to a hospital that has vascular surgery as an option. So you're probably not going to go to a more rural hospital, which might do a little bit here and there, but if you want to actually get exposure to vascular surgery, you want to go to the vascular surgery centers. So yeah, if you want to get exposure to vascular surgery, then you want to go to the centers that specialize in vascular surgery. So that might just be a little bit of an interest. As I said, go on the specific hospital websites that you're thinking about, and yeah, by and large, most hospitals have the same sorts of rotations on offer for interns. I mean, you'll have to do a surgery rotation, you'll have to do a medical rotation, you'll have to do an emergency department rotation. Apart from that, you'll have 2 other rotations to pick from. They might be, you know, another surgery that's a different type. It might be another medical, maybe more like cardiology or something like that. Maybe you do like something like anesthetics, you know, if you're interested in that. So like every hospital will have different rotations on offer, but yeah, get some information, I guess, from the hospital that you're thinking about. But I don't really think it matters that much. I mean, internship is meant for a basis, a foundation, not to 100% specialize in that one area. Yes, get your foot in the door. If you're interested in like psychiatry, do a psychiatry rotation, but pretty much every hospital will have a psychiatry rotation. So yeah, that's just my 2 bops about that. Anyways, going back to the PMC website, PMCV website, internship match eligibility. All right, this is kind of interesting. So, I mean, specifically for Victoria, you can have like category 1. So this is what I was. So I was an Australian citizen graduating from a Victorian university. So a university that I did medical school at was in Victoria. If I want an internship in that same state, Victoria, I'm a category 1, which means I get the first preference. Then you have different categories depending on like your residency status and everything like that. So category 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just like preference. Yeah, it's just your degree of preference for getting selected for a particular hospital. If you want to do this VRPA system, that's just like the rural program. It just means that you only get matched at a rural hospital, I'm pretty sure. So if we go down here, Victorian Rural Preferential Allocation, the VRPA round is intended for students with a genuine intention to work in rural Victoria. So you can find out more about like if you can get some sort of scholarship here, if you just want to go rural or if you just want to go metro. As I was saying before, like it will depend on where you want to live, how you want to live your life, what sort of like lifestyle do you want, where are your friends, where are your family. So if you don't really care and you want some exposure and you're happy to go 3, 4, 5 hours outside a main city, then go do that. But I guess there's specific rural internship applications that you can go and sort out. If you're interested in if you can come back after you do a rural rotation to a metro hospital, yes, you can. I know a couple of people who did that. They all went out, did a year in their internship at a rural hospital, did their year there, had a great time, and then came back to the metro hospital. Does it affect anything? I don't know. I don't think it really matters that much. I mean, rural exposure is like so important and just levels you up so much. The exposure that you get when you undertake a rural medicine rotation is unbelievable. So I think that it can only benefit you in the long run. But yeah, you can just mix and match if you want. That doesn't really matter. Yeah, specific things, if you have like different questions about deferring internship, special consideration, I'm not going to go through any of that. I mean, the main thing is, this is just Victoria. I mean, if we just go on New South Wales, internship, doctor, let's have a look at this. HETI, maybe it's this. Medical intern recruitment. So New South Wales government, blah, blah, blah. application guide. This sounds all right. New South Wales priority category. So here, yeah, just like New South Wales, like I've just jumped on their website. There's the first Google search that comes up. There's a whole bunch of, I think they have networks there. So maybe you put in your preferences for different networks and then you get allocated to a hospital. I'm not sure how it actually works. Let's go on the application guide just for a quick overview. Amazing, doesn't really work. So that's good. Super helpful for anyone in New South Wales wanting some stuff. Nothing there as well, amazing. Application quick checklist. Okay, here we go. RPR, so that's rural preferential recruitment. See, New South Wales have the same sort of thing. I mean, if you want to go rural, then they have a separate application process for the rural interns. It looks like they're pretty keen to get people to go rural, aren't we all? I mean, everyone wants to go to the city, less people want to go rural. If you have a preferential recruitment allocation program or whatever it's called, then you can actually fast track that process and make sure people who want to go rural get to go rural. So there you go. Anyways, just a bunch of stuff, going through the exact same stuff that I went through. Internship numbers. All right, here we go. I mean, this is just like a general overview for if you think how many positions are available at different hospitals for interns. This is what I just Googled. I mean, New South Wales internship allocations in 2025. There's a total of like 1,200, almost 1,200 people who get allocated to different hospitals around New South Wales. They're broken up into those different networks. That's how they categorize things. And yeah, you can see like Hunter New England network has like 140 intern spots, whereas Bankers and Campers, whatever that is, 63 spots. So yeah, and you've got a whole bunch of stuff in the rural rotations, in the rural hospitals, which have a few different interns available. Different hospitals have less interns. There you go. All right, network rotation position 2025. RPR hospital positions. Okay, sure. Nice. So yeah, you've got a couple hundred rural intern rotations that you can do in New South Wales. That just gives you an idea about how much is up for grabs. So if you want to really go to one particular hospital, then yeah, I don't know, you see how many people are applying for it. Priority health list, what's this? So yeah, different people have different priorities. Essentially, if you are a New South Wales graduate, you have the first priority university. Yeah, essentially if you went to med school in New South Wales and you want to go and do internship in New South Wales, then you're like a priority one. So there you go, that makes sense. And then you have different priorities based on your residency status, where you went to university, if you went interstate, if you went to New Zealand, if you essentially did it somewhere else, whatever, just to keep in mind. There you go. Okay, so I think moral of the story, overview for internship application. There's a whole bunch of stuff to consider. Go to your state-specific website. That will guide you in terms of how to best navigate that system. There's a few checklists that you need to understand. There's the application deadlines. You actually have to fill out all the application process and apply to the hospital of your choice. That will include like a cover letter, a resume. You might have to answer a few different questions and stuff for that particular hospital. Then you apply, and then you hear if you get an interview and you pass it, then you get to go and formally accept that offer for a particular hospital. And then you go from there. That's just like the general structure. We're gonna go through how to do a cover letter. We're gonna go through how to sort of formulate a CV or a resume. We'll go through how to actually, answer those written questions on different hospital websites that they might have. Yeah, some hospitals didn't have questions, other hospitals did. It's just a mixed bag depending on where you go and what they want. Yeah, we'll also go through how to do the video interview I mean, different states might do it differently. In Victoria, what we did is we did like this online interview. They're essentially questions, you see the question, you record your response, you go from there. And yeah, then we'll put it all together, and then that's how you apply for internship. Bear in mind, you can actually, put all these different segments together for not just an internship application. You can use them for your junior doctor application, for residency, for like a different registrar position, for whatever you want. The principles are the same. So the sooner you learn how to do it and how it all works, the simpler it is. So just before I forget, each state has their own like specific internship guide application resources on their website. I'll link a couple in the description, and you can essentially watch or read about all their like workflow and application process. Yeah, go from there. I mean, this is meant to be an overview. I think this will be a good one to start off with before you go deep dive into like how everything works and everything like that. This is a really good starting point for any medical student who is thinking about applying to internship or about to start on that process. So these are the things that I think are like really important, and sift through all like that noise of information that often gets thrown at you. So yeah, anyways, let's go through the different steps and we'll put it all together in a nice video for you. So if you want to just watch it all together, no breaks, then you can do that as well. So yeah, all right, there you go, overview done. Let's go on to the first part where we will go through, I don't know, maybe cover letters, interviews, maybe the CV. What about written application questions? We'll go from there. All right, cool.